this program and I run it. I'll just go find it on the.
Sorry.
It's okay. Carrie built this for us.
Well, that explains a lot.
There it is, Google that.
Okay, yeah, there it is.
Open this alarm
Open with Notepad. I love Notepad. It's not something you have to figure out how to work. I'm just kidding.
The IntelliSense is really good too.
Oh, yeah. All right. This is just data. It doesn't matter. Okay. So, can I s- make this any bigger?
You're in Notepad.
Nope. You can change the font.
I'm gonna.
Yes.
All right. That's better.
Thank you.
All right. So we have some data here. So we've got. Have y'all used XML a little bit at least, or at least looked at it? Yeah. Okay. So that we don't freak anybody out here. All right. So we got our people as our root element, and then persons are included inside there, and each person has a first name, a last name, a birth date, and address. And then the address is made up of your street, city, state, and zip code data. So we gratefully have all this information generated for us. Did you use that cool little generator?
Nope.
You read it
I
out?
used the carry generator.
Carry generator. What was that other generator? Data generator?
Yeah.
Yeah, just by the way, if you ever need like dummy data, there is a website available that will generate dummy data for you. So,
Now that we know what it is, but
I'm pretty sure
GenerateData.com.
GenerateData.com.
Yeah. And it'll generate like names and dates and all sorts of like random numbers, and it'll convert it to like XML, like HTML, JSON. It'll do a bunch of different data types.
There you go. All right. So a nice little interface, and that was a helpful thing to discover. I thought so. There you go. There's your little nugget. Free little bonus if you ever have to make up data for a project for school, or who knows, maybe for CAPS.
Accidentally delete the database.
Or randomly populate.
Until you figure things out.
All right. So our people data file is full of people, and so those just stored in a constant that's freely available within this project. So, all right. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna allow Link to query our XML, and so the first thing that we do is we have it actually load that data in, because it needs to get the data first, right? All right. So if you look what we have, the syntax that we're looking at here. So we have root.elements is person. Now,
That doesn't get used. I just did that for you already.
okay.
I'm sorry.
Interesting. All right. Cool.
That's the same thing in here in Link.
That's the same thing in what?
Root elements person dot select right there.
Mm-hmm.
I just did that variable because you wanted to see it earlier. I didn't-
Oh yeah,
I-
because we were printing it out.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you're right.
Is it an error of mine?
No, that's all right. Why is it doing that?
Possible null.
Nah, we'll be fine.
Just trust it.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're doing is we're just setting up a context list basically here. All right. So what we're able to do. Man, I haven't talked about lambdas or anything, right? So okay. Well, say again. Yeah. Maybe we should hold off on this just for a second. Have you have seen at least the syntax of it, right? I'm not super comfortable writing query syntax out. But if you had a table like called cars, maybe vehicles, sure. Okay. Not that we work on the titles database or anything. So when we set it up, you have your variable. Okay, and so it's really weird to me because normally you would say like select whatever your field names are from var. So yeah, they invert it. So it's like from vehicles, yeah, or you have to have your data source first. So it'll look like whatever your I'm not gonna type that out. Vehicle.
Apparently, black text on white background pisses his camera off something fierce.
You want me to do something about it?
I don't think he can right now. I'll make it work.
Change the editor environment.
Yeah, maybe for tomorrow or
So black text, we'll put white text on black.
that would probably be preferable for next time.
You can go into color invert color on your computer.
Where
That was a joke.
it won't do it.
I don't know how to do it.
We'll just make it work for
Yeah.
today, and then maybe next time use a different.
Does it read it better there? Would it help if I had other stuff behind it? Is that better? Instead of just
Yes, that is much
Okay.
better.
Alright. Yeah, having those full screens wasn't useful. Alright, so from vehicles, and then you do your where clause if you have one. So if you want to restrict it. Where this is difficult.
I actually forgot there was link without lambda expressions.
Oh yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
It's in the bottom.
Well, what I found interesting upon reading it, it was like most people find query syntax to be easier to read, and I was like, maybe. I mean, if you're really used to SQL, it probably just really gripes you to look at it because it's so backwards. But
Right.
in any case, so yeah, you write it out like where, VIN, well, some VIN number. And you can guarantee that is test data. So you restrict your selection or whatever, and then you say select what your fields, right? So
Make.
yeah, sure, make. Excellent. All right, so this will go query vehicles, get your stuff. So that's what your syntax typically looks
What
like.
would return into lot here? What would the variable lot be?
Lot would actually, lot would be this crazy object, right? And then you would have to do like, because you would do like either first or default to get, and then to get the actual record.
Enumerable string,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
It would be a collection
Well,
of strings.
yeah, because it is, because it would be the main. But it would just be that one because, VINs are unique,
Yes. Very good.
right?
But it would be an enumerable, it just might only have
Yeah, just have one object in it. Now, if you had multiple things, like maybe we'll do this instead of using VIN, we'll do like where
ID.
Huh?
ID? Are you trying to do unique or not unique?
Not unique.
Oh, well, where
Yeah.
color equals yellow.
Sadly, bins are not unique.
All colors are yellow.
It's gonna be a color ID. All right, so we can get the makes and find out all of our cars. So then, lot is gonna have a list of makes of yellow cars.
So lot becomes a list or is it an object?
Well, it's an enumerable.
So
I mean, that's an
A list
object.
is an object.
Yeah.
But it's it's a certain
Yeah.
type of object that lets you enumerate through it.
Okay.
unless you
That's why we keep
specify-
using the IEnumerable.
Mhm.
Basically, a list, a dictionary, all those that have something that you can iterate through. They're all in the interface of IEnumerable.
Right.
And all link will return IEnumerables unless otherwise specified. So I'm sure you've seen like a to list or to array.
Mhm.
You're telling it, hey, cast this into something else. Take it in IEnumerable and turn it into an array since it implements it, right?
Alright. Incidentally, that also will cause it to go retrieve the data. And,
Yes.
to actually go get it instead of just using it. Now, what you can do then is do like a little for each loop to go through all of these if you want to look. But you got your list, and so then you can deal with it. But you've got the data that you requested from the database. Now, I don't typically do query syntax. So instead, we can do the method syntax. That's called, right? Method syntax. Yeah. It's gonna be select. I'm gonna have to look at that. Yeah. Select. There we go. Okay. Select. And I didn't actually do my lambda expression. So this is the lambda here, and
Vehicles dot select.
sorry, thank you. Vehicles dot.
We're Vesleys. I'm cool with that.
Vehicles is very difficult for me to spell. Alright, so we'll do vehicles dot select, and V is going to be your input parameter, so V dot make. Alright, so V is all your vehicles, and then you want the make from it. Alright, now at this point we get into those methods that you can, well, select is a method as well, and then so then you can call other stuff. So then if you want to do the where clause, then you do dot where. Do what?
You have to do the where first.
Oh, yeah. Do it before you do the, oh, yeah.
The reason being select
Those
is for
dot-
checking.
yes,
if
yes,
it's
yes,
still there.
alright. Man. Dear Link, you break my heart.
Yeah, there's some rules about link, but when you're doing stuff like this, if you run into an issue like that, if you have resharper, it's gonna tell you. It's not just gonna break. Like Visual Studio will break on this, and it will be like, you did something wrong, and I'm not really entirely sure, but this isn't gonna compile. If you have resharper, it's gonna say you need to put your where first. So just as a side note, +1 resharper.
On this one, I don't redo this though, right? It's okay? It's rough. Alright. So, you still end up with crazy, wacky syntax, but you get it the same.
It's readable.
Yeah, it is readable. I guess this is why they say that query syntax is more readable than method syntax, but I think it's shorter to do method syntax, and so once you get comfortable with it, it's probably easier to use. My opinion, I don't know. I mean, yeah, feel similarly.
Well, I think maybe the more you use them, the more the method syntax makes sense because of the chain.
Yeah.
The long sentences you end up composing with the other one is kind of hard to follow once it gets past the simple examples.
Mhm. Right. And then also, yeah, and then you can do, I mean, you can do more than one where once you, especially like once you get this, then you can do lot dot whatever and do more retrieval with that as well, because it is enumerable and you can run links on enumerables. So regardless of where it comes from. Now I realize that we're running out of time, and so I'm just going to show you this real quick. This example is put up, and it is on the GitHub repo, so you can pull it down if you want to look at it further. It basically just shows you an easier way, like when you're retrieving the information from XML, of how to go through and get each node. So you get your person, and then that person has the first, last name. Then you got to get your address, and it goes in and gets the address for each of them. But this will retrieve all of the data from the XML file, and instead of pulling them in line by line by line and so forth. So and you can run it, and you can see there's a couple of extra little methods that are in there that to make it look pretty much, because I told you Gary is the GUI person, and she had to make sure that it looked good. So, but in these methods, your get XML value, they're in there to to confirm that they're not nulls, right? That was to check for nulls before it actually stored it. So
Anybody that wants to take a look at this, and we kind of did a pretty quick overview of it this time. So if you get in there and you take a look at it and you start seeing things that just don't make sense or whatnot, we can always just recap at the end of, or at the beginning of the next class. And
Yeah.
Just kind of go back line by line and answer specific questions.
Sure. And email me and let me know ahead of time too. And I'll try to have something prepared for you so that it'll be fast, but also, we'll still go over it. So, but if you just have questions when you get here, that's fine too. So, I won't keep you guys any longer then. And if you had any more specific questions or anything that you wanted, covered, just email me and let me know. Okay.
What's the topic for next time, Elsa?
MVC. We're gonna introduce MVC. So, all right. Thank you all for coming.